Hi friends, I'm here with the angelic message for this new moon and beyond. These messages, they come through at certain, astronomical confluences or experiences, but they're always timeless in their nature. So they come through at that time because there's an opening at that time to hear this type of wisdom, yet you can refer to them anytime. They will help you move out of fear and into love, out of ignorance and into light, out of being asleep to who you truly are and being awake to who you really are. And this one is directly all about that. It's so beautiful. I'm going to read it to you because it came through as a transmission during meditation, so I dictated it and took it down for the collective. Your biggest fear is to allow yourself to become yourself. To remember yourself and to see that what you are seeking through every action in life truly does live inside. This is not a cliche. So I'm going to give a little bit of discourse as we go along. So right off the invitation is to understand. Take a moment to actually go to what you believe your biggest fear to be, whatever it might be, and say, it's not that, it's actually about becoming myself. So when we're working with higher realm transmission, it's always wise to work with it with like this idea of a willing suspension of disbelief. So it doesn't mean you have to, sign up. But you can, for like a few moments in time, to say, okay, you know what, I'm just going to, for this few moments in time, believe that this is true and see what it feels like if I follow the pathway that they're suggesting. Because from that place, then you make independent, self-informed choice about how you want to move with it. So for this moment in time, just take a moment, think of what your biggest fear is, and then tell yourself, it's not really that, it's about becoming myself. And then you want to see how that starts to land in you. Does it have resonance in you? It's a primordial teaching, so it's there underneath it all. But where is it for you right now? And see if you can excavate that truth out of all the other conditioned ideas of what we need to be frightened of. Understand that actually that thing that we think that we want so badly, we're actually frightened of it. And that's why we're not really connected to it. And they say here, this isn't a cliche, that everything that you're seeking through every experience of life, so everything that we do, every, getting married, having children, going to school, doing this, doing that, becoming this, becoming that, blah, 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 all these different things. They are all actually like a splinter of the initial seeking that lives deep within every being, that they're seeking to reunite with themselves. When we can understand that all actions are actually they're like an echoing of that desire, then they turn into absolute gold and they start to move us towards that self. And then as we move along in this transmission, you're going to find out a little bit more about all this. It's so beautiful. So it's not a cliche. And every moment of stepping towards this reality, so every moment that we actually do set ourselves down, or however you do it, and say, okay, I'm going for it. I'm going for that deep inner place right now. When we get distracted, when we step into that, by thinking things like, oh, I need to talk to this person, I need another bite of this, I'm hungry. I need a relationship, I need some money, I need this, I need that, I need to go there right now. It's time for me to do this, I've got to get this done. Even when the actions that we are starting to think of when we sit in our time of wanting to reconnect with our cosmic reality are actions that, that are meant to lead us towards that self, like for instance, plant medicine journeys and all these other things that we do that are there to, guide us towards ourself. When we're like in this state of distraction by them, when we're actually in that moment of seeking the self, we sit down to seek the self, we sit down to go inside and like, oh no, I need another plant journey before I can do this. That's actually a distraction. They're going to speak, they're going to qualify this because it's got many dimensions to it. They're going to qualify it and they're going to let you understand all the different dimensions to it. I need this, I need that. They're actually the diversions out of the fear of fully reclaiming who you truly are. So we know, this has been spoken by many great beings, that our greatest fear is, our freedom, our love. It's our truth, it's ourself, more so than the fears that we think of. And it's a deep reckoning with oneself to see that all of those stories, all of these things that we've done in our life that we've deemed so much importance into, and then our limited ego structure has created such an identity out of. When we look at them through this particular prism, and I love that they use this word, it's like a prism of perception, which is from the greater self. And when we look at them from this place of reclamation of the self, we see that they are distractions and they are diversions. And here we go, this is the qualification for the human experience. And yes, one can argue, I did that, and it led me to more knowing of the self. So absolutely, even watching this video right now is leading you to more knowing of the self. All this is true. Higher reality, wisdom, does not cancel out another reality. So when they're speaking that it's a diversion, it's not canceling out the fact that right now, this is actually taking you there. In our true essence, we are so multidimensional that we actually have a natural skill, a graceful skill to be able to handle both those realities at the same time. There is an inward and outward reality that co-creates in a creative way to help bring us towards the self, to help us bring us into the remembering of the self. Yet, when we get really close, and they're saying that our collective is getting closer and closer to this capacity now to really just be done with the illusion of reality, which is the old paradigm. What was formerly an opening for us, what formerly said, oh, that really helped get us there, leading us to more of a capacity to be with ourselves, now we start to see that it's actually a diversion, it's actually a distraction. It's part of the habit of the old to keep on thinking that we need to seek that which is already you. Get it? So that we need that, they're saying, so when we get closer and closer to this radiant self that we are, we'll start to see that those things that we were using as these kind of, threads to pull us closer into the remembering are actually now diversions and distractions from that idea. They keep on telling us that we need to keep seeking that which we already are. Your radiant collective, they're speaking now of the whole collective, comes ever closer to this rare capacity in the 3D realm to see the illusion with love. So reflecting on all of now we see them as distractions or diversions with absolute love. No like, oh my God, yes, don't want to do that, something wrong with that. No. Absolute love. We look at all of these things with sweetness and with love and with joy and appreciation, with no need to defend it from a weakened egoic state. Because many times when we start to speak about, these things that we've done that we thought were taking us there, like people, if you say, well, actually it's a distraction, people start to defend it. That's because the ego feels weakened and it's getting some kind of strengthened identity out of that thing. So we'll no longer need to do this, and we can live the truth that lives beyond the illusion of our radiant self. And then they say, we bring you all love and all blessings for this very sacred journey to you. Blessed full moon, dear ones. This is a powerful one. Really let yourself take those moments in that inner place of knowing that it's all within you, and start to see the habits of the distractions of the mind and start to make choice. Choice is the liberating truth. Choose love. And thank you so much for joining into this message. And please know that you can get your own personal quantum awakening session with the angelic realm to help you really identify the deeper, kind of denser habits of the diversions, and then also identify where the great radiance in you lives, because both things, we have this blindness towards it. This is the awakening to new earth. This is the becoming of the heaven and earth being. You can check out my website. It's called onlyloveisreal.love. So the server is love. Much love.